What if I told you that the one exercise everyone tells you to do for strong glutes might actually be the very thing making your body feel weaker after 50? It sounds a bit backwards, doesn't it? For decades, we've been told the same thing over and over. If you want strong hips, sturdy legs, and a solid backside, you have to squat. And look, I'm not here to tell you that squats are evil or useless. They're not. But here's the uncomfortable question no one really asks. What if squats, at least the way most of us were taught to do them, are no longer serving your body the way they used to? According to the CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in adults over 65. And Harvard Health points out something we all eventually feel. As we age, our joints lose that built-in shock absorption. Our knees, hips, and lower back just don't tolerate heavy compressive loads like they did in our 20s. But here's the real kicker from the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy. It's not actually leg weakness that predicts balance problems or chronic back pain as we get older. It's hip instability. Let that sink in for a second. It's not about how much weight you can move. It's about how stable you are while you're moving. You see, most squat variations are great at hitting the gluteus maximus. That's the big, meaty muscle that gives the backside its shape. But they often completely miss a much more important muscle for the over 50 crowd, the gluteus medius. Think of this as the smart muscle. It's the one that keeps your pelvis level, your hips stable, and your body upright when you're walking, turning, or standing on one leg. When that muscle gets weak, your body doesn't just stop moving. It starts cheating. Your lower back starts working overtime. Your knees take on extra stress they weren't designed for. Most people assume that's just getting old. But what if it's just that you've been training the wrong muscles? I get it. We've all been there. Following the standard advice because we want to stay active. You're not skipping the gym out of laziness. You're walking and staying busy. But the standard fitness advice was largely designed for young bodies, not for an aging nervous system or joints that have seen a few decades of life. Your body isn't broken. It's just asking for a smarter strategy. If you're watching this and you're over 50, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your first name and where you're watching from. We're building a community here of people who are choosing movement over myths. Movement without activation is just repetition, and repetition without balance leads to compensation. A study back in 2020 found that weakness in that tiny gluteus medius muscle was a massive predictor of lower back pain and fall risk, even in people who exercised regularly. Traditional squats actually underactivate this stabilizer by up to 50% compared to targeted low-impact movements. So you can squat all day, but if your stabilizers are asleep, your joints are carrying the weight your muscles should be handling. That's why you feel stiff and sore even when you're doing everything right. We don't need to throw squats away forever, but we absolutely have to add movements that retrain your stabilizers. Here are the 3 exercises that do exactly that. Number 1. The side-lying hip abduction. Lying on your side and lifting the top leg with toes pointed down. Now, I know what you're thinking. Just lying on your side and lifting your leg? That feels like a 1980s aerobics class, right? How could that possibly be better than a powerful squat? Here's the thing. Effort isn't the same as effectiveness. In your 50s and 60s, the most important muscle in your lower body might not need more weight. It might just need to wake up. When you do this simple side-lying move, you are isolating the gluteus medius. You're telling it, hey, it's time to work. A study in 2019 followed adults over 55 who added this exact move to their routine just 3 times a week. In only 6 weeks, their balance improved by nearly 30% and their walking stability shot up. To do it right, lie on your side with your bottom leg bent for support. Keep your top leg straight and slightly in front of you. Here's the secret sauce. Turn your toes down toward the floor. This tiny rotation activates the internal part of the hip. Lift slowly. No bouncing, no rushing. You'll feel a targeted burn in a spot squats never touch. This is how you protect your knees and spine. Number 2. The posterior hip abduction. Lying on your side, moving the top leg slightly back, and lifting with toes pointed up. Now, you might wonder why we need another version of a similar move, but the posterior hip abduction is a total game changer. It looks like the first one, but the angle is different. By moving your leg slightly behind your torso and rotating your toes up toward the ceiling, you're training your hips to handle a completely different kind of force: rotation. Think about when you slip on a wet floor or have to turn quickly to grab something. Those are the moments where falls happen. Squats don't prepare you for that side-to-side or rotational instability, but this move does. It's about control, not just brute strength. When you do this, you're retraining your brain to protect your hips from the unexpected movements that catch most people off guard. Lie on your side, move the top leg back just an inch or two, and rotate those toes toward the ceiling before lifting. You'll feel this deeper in the hip socket. Number 3. The standing hip drop and abduction. Standing on one leg and using your hip to lift and lower your pelvis. But what about when we're actually on our feet? Most of life happens while we're standing. A lot of people think walking is enough for balance, but walking only moves you forward. Real balance happens side to side. Think of your pelvis as a level platform. Every time you take a step, your glute medius has to hold that platform steady. If it doesn't, your whole alignment collapses. Your hip drops, your knee dives inward, and your back tweaks. This move specifically drills that leveling reflex. Stand near a wall for safety. Shift your weight to one leg and let the other hip drop slightly before pulling it back up using your standing side glute. It's a tiny motion, but it sends a massive message to your brain. I've got this. I am stable. This is the secret to stepping off curbs safely or putting on your pants without needing to sit down. I want you to take a step back and really look at the big picture here. You've probably been pushing yourself hard, trying to stay fit by the old rules. But what if the problem wasn't your effort? What if the routines just never adjusted for the body you live in today? After 50, real strength is about restoring the connection between your brain and your muscles. It's about reclaiming the kind of independence that doesn't necessarily show up in a mirror, but shows up when you can climb a flight of stairs without clutching the handrail, or walk on an uneven sidewalk without fear. You don't need a fancy gym membership or expensive equipment for this. You just need to meet your body where it is right now. These exercises are honest. They aren't flashy, and they won't make you the strongest person in a powerlifting meet, but they will make you the most stable person in your daily life. What feels like a small, simple movement today is exactly what keeps you upright and moving tomorrow. Don't let the simplicity fool you. This is high-level maintenance for the most important machine you'll ever own. I truly believe that aging doesn't have to mean a slow decline into fragility. It can be a shift into a smarter, more intentional kind of strength. If you start focusing on these stabilizers now, your future self, the one who is still out there walking, traveling, and playing with grandkids, is going to be so incredibly thankful you made this switch. It's about protecting your independence for the long haul. If this conversation changed how you think about your daily workout, hit that subscribe button. I'm here every week breaking down the real science of health for those of us who want the truth, not the fluff. No miracle cures, just research-backed ways to stay strong and steady. If you think this could help a friend who's struggling with hip or back pain, please share it with them. Let's help each other stay mobile and confident. See you in the next one.